Yeah, definitely. Kevin Hart, Heartbeat Network, is supposedly in serious trouble right now. Now, there's been a lot of allegations on the table. That it's a lot of the company is pretty much hemorrhaging, losing a lot of money. It's laid off employees, but they have pretty much said that Kevin Hart went ghost, left the company, for weeks on end, changed his phone number. Employees been getting laid off and things like that. The Heartbeat Network, whatever. At one point, they said he had about 80 employees. He's downsized to maybe 15 to 20 right now. Now, there's a lot to it, again, but these are the reports that's been coming out about Heartbeat Network. I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised, at that. But what are your thoughts on that story coming out? This story came out a few days ago.
Yeah, and I'm just hearing about it right now.
Okay.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because starting a network and doing all that shit independently is not easy.
Yeah.
That's why you got NBCs and ABCs and Viacoms and various places like that can pilot a show, put out a season or show, take that loss, and continue to move on because they're huge. An independent company like a Heartbeat Network, no matter how successful or how much money Kevin Hart has, when you're starting to put money out like that to be a production company, the losses can't come as exponentially as an ABC or a Viacom or an NBC. You take 1, 2, 3, 4 losses, like shit.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, I gotta cut back. Now all of a sudden, I might have to downsize. All of a sudden, unfortunately, this business may have to go belly up because I cannot afford to take this many amount of losses in this one venture because it may empty out everything that I have.
Yep.
Right? So am I surprised? No. And then kind of Kevin Hart alluded to it a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
When he was live and he was talking about how streamers and people like Drewski and people like Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed are kicking these networks and these theaters asses because they can get on the phone with a $20, $30 budget and make millions of dollars when the networks and these publishing companies are throwing out $300 million and they're not seeing that back. So he kind of told you, like, it's a wave going on right now, and unfortunately, money's being lost to some of these things. And Kevin Hart's not a stupid dude. Now, him ghosting and him changing his phone number and him no longer talking, that's not good.
That's like allegations. Yeah.
Right? I don't know the ins and outs of that, so I'm not going to attack the man personally.
Right.
But a network is not easy to do. It's not. So I'm not surprised that it's not doing well. I want to see it do well. I don't want to see anybody fail, but we're in business, man. We've been in business for 10 years. We know the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of business. And when you get into this type of shit, when you are relying on people to consume your content for you to get revenue, I'm not surprised, man.
Yeah, and this is, one of the reasons why black businesses fail at a rate very high, because we lack the access to the funding and the time. We don't have the time. Like, for example, you'll see companies that lost $100 million or $20 million or $30 million, and they're able to recover because they have more access. For us, it's like, again, like you said, with Kevin Hart, it's over with. You can't afford to take that type of loss. Even if he's worth, $300-400 million, he's not trying to lose 150 or go negative, before he can start making a profit.
Right.
And that's, those hard decisions when it comes to business. It ain't easy. It's good when it's good, as we know, and everything's coming in and, everything is great and you could pay this and pay that. But once those days start coming, it's time to pay this person or pay this bill and pay that. You ain't got it. It's like, holy shit. It gets very, very difficult. So I'm not surprised, but like you said, because, Kevin Hart is not a network. He's not those bigger. And you talking about a Fox or NBC or ABC. You talking about $1 trillion probably valuations, where it's like their money is long as shit. They can lose for 20 years straight and still make it.
Cuts.
And even they make cuts.
Yep.
Great point. It's, to eventually get it back or file bankruptcy, restructure some things to get back, where they want to go. That's what I was trying to tell people, the difference between bankruptcies with even like Dame Dash. There's two different types. There's many different types of bankruptcies, but these companies will go through bankruptcies where, all right, I'm going to settle my debts. I owe SamAnt $5 million. Yo, can I give you 1.5 right now? That's all I got. I owe all this stuff. But now when we talking about a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, it's like, I got to give up my company and you got to take whatever's left. Now, I can't operate this company no more. Two different things. Restructuring my debt or giving up my company. That's what I was trying to explain to people. So these bigger companies do that often, and they file bankruptcy and stuff to restructure and be able to breathe and to be able to live. That's like if we had a company, let's say we owed $1 million for where we was at. We ain't making the money no more. So how can we pay it? All right, we got to file bankruptcy and tell people this is what we can pay you, so we can now start getting back, in the black again. You know what I mean? So, look, I don't look at him no different because of this. I'm not looking down on him. It's just a part of business. When he was doing this thing as a comedian and he had people backing him, that's a different story between you going out there. Hey, think about it, 80 employees. You got to have the building. You got to pay these people. Taxes. You might want to get health benefits. There's a whole bunch of things that go into this that people don't see. It's constantly money is going to be going out, whether you're making it or not, because these people are there working.
Right.
Totally different than this Kevin Hart making his money and people paying him to do shit, and he got a company behind him that's going. It's totally two different things. So I honestly, it's smart. Now, like you said, him ghosting and leaving and shit like that. If that's true, I think that's a cowardly thing to do. Changing his number, not showing up. You know what I mean? But those are just allegations right now, and if more comes out, we'll talk about that. But I wish the best for the brother, man, for sure.
Yeah, and what I don't want to see is him starting to lose generational wealth to keep a company when business is set up for you to go ahead and, unfortunately, if it don't work out, dump it. Fuck.
Yeah, dump it. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's move on to so G-Unit sneakers are making a comeback, man. What you think about that?
I don't give a fuck.
Never wore them?
Nah, it's not.
People think you don't like 50 Cent. People like, man, SamAnt don't like 50 Cent.
That's a lie. Because when G-Unit came out, them sneakers came out, boy, I had them all.
Yo, yeah?
I had the fatigue ones. I had them all. No. I was a G-Unit sneaker rep. As a matter of fact, it's crazy. I wanted to model for G-Unit. I used to go and do different things and go on different runways and things and kind of try to work with them.
Okay.
So no, complete opposite. I was a huge fan back in the day when it first came out. Like I said, I was trying to model for them and everything was cool. But do I want to see a resurgence of the G-Unit sneaker? No. But I don't want to see the S-dots. I don't want to see, baby fat. Just certain things, as nostalgic as they were during their time, I don't need to see them shits again. G-Unit isn't popping the way they were popping back then. The group itself, the individuals itself aren't popping enough for them to drop a G-Unit sneaker. Like, what's popping for them to really want to buy them? So 50 ain't rapping. Lloyd Banks ain't around doing that like that. Young Buck ain't there. Game ain't there. Yeah, who's going to represent this brand to actually push any unit? So hell no, I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, I just don't see, I don't think maybe they're going to put out a new design, but the sneaker game is tough, man. Unless you copying somebody's prototype, it's going to be very tough, man, because it's like every style is almost out there. Unless you can do like Yeezy. I'll give it to him, man. He really changed the game with his I got him now to this day. They're comfortable. Okay, look, and they look different than anything else out there. And I just wish he's not having the same effect, man, as he did with Adidas. It's just not the same. Even though I think his prices are lower now, he just put out a new slipper. I don't know if you've seen it.
Nah.
It's sort of like that, but it's like thinner.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But and he raised the price of those to $40 now.
Okay.
But I heard he's having the disco issues, like things coming on time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Things like that. Did you order anything that took long for you?
Yes, I ordered these. Matter of fact, my wife and I ordered a pair of 4 for everybody in the crib. We ordered them probably September.
Ooh.
Got them at Christmas, a week after Christmas.
Oh my God!
2 days after Christmas.
So what was it saying the whole time? Pending?
It wasn't saying shit. To where we thought we got scammed. We didn't know.
Wow.
And then I looked on one of the Instagram posts and it was yeah, it took me forever to get it. Yeah, it took me forever to get it. So I showed her. I was like, I think we good. It's just taking forever to get here. And then we didn't get an email saying they were on their way. Nothing. One random day. They just got a box of four Yeezys. I was like,
and that's the thing.